Alright boys, welcome back to another video. This is a Call of War country review again. I think this episode 3, I haven't done one in a while actually. But today we are reviewing Japan. Japan is a very interesting country. You don't have a very big economy, at least not only with your cores, but you have a lot of colonies, as I'd say, and they can make you pretty strong. You also are quite militarized at the start and have a big navy. You are basically the strongest power of Asia day one, if you don't count, let's say, the USSR and the US. Because, they're not really in Asia. Well, the USSR is, but they're more of a European power. You are stronger than China at the start, but you do get outgrown economically and militarily soon. But if you take out China, you are insanely strong. You become the Asian superpower literally and get a big economy, which you can easily do actually. You can easily take out China. But anyway, you have a pretty nice air force. You get quite a lot of planes. We can see here 7 interceptors, 2 I think those are tactical bombers, 1 strategic bomber and 1 attack bomber. This might not even be all of it. And that's a pretty nice air force here. There's another one right here. That is quite a lot. So you start with a nice ass air force. Your navy is also one of the strongest. You can see 17 destroyers, 3 aircraft carriers, 6 battleships, and 3 submarines. Looking at levels, all of those are quite high, as you can see. Level 3 destroyers, level 2 submarines, level 3 cruisers, and level 3 battleships. That's some pretty insane stuff right there. Only aircraft carriers are level 1. So that's pretty fucking great. Looking at the rest of research, you have level 2 infantry, you have motorized unlocked. It's not too good, but level 2 infantry is good enough against China since they are level 1. Looking over here at the ordnance, you have level 2 anti-tank and level 2 artillery, which is pretty fucking good for the start. That is a good place to start. You already have an upper hand on the others. You also have level 2 anti-air, which could be useful, I guess. Looking at tanks, you have armored cars and a level 2 light tanks, which is not bad, especially considering light tanks have buffs with Pan-Asian Doctrine, which is what you have. So that is pretty good. You can get pretty good light tanks for this time. Also, you have level 3 interceptors, it is really good actually. You can already research level 4, which is, I don't think any other country has the ability to research level 4 on day 1. I know Germany has level 3, but Pan-Asian makes you be able to research higher levels sooner, higher level interceptors. So that is some insane shit right there. And damn, level 3 interceptors are gonna be insane. You have like 7 of them. So you have a very strong air force, believe it or not. Actually extremely strong. So you are actually doing pretty well on research, especially on air force and the navy. Looking over here, you have I think 8 core cities. Yep, you have 8. 8 core cities is that's pretty decent. You can lose all of your non-core provinces and you'd still be pretty strong, because 8 is stronger than Yugoslavia. You have the same amount as Italy. I'd say Japan is like the Asian Italy, however they are stronger than Italy. At least I'd say. I think you have a slightly stronger economy and you're probably more militarized, and considering your region, you are much stronger since Italy is in Europe and the most European countries are decently strong. So as Japan, you have a big upper hand in Asia. Japan is also one of the first big countries. It is one of the most popular. Germany is the most, I'd say USSR is second. France, UK, Italy, US and Japan are the most popular. Japan is one of the major powers. You start with a decent amount of artillery as well and ordnance. Let's look here, 19 infantry, so that's pretty fucking massive if you ask me. Some militias, not many, 2 artillery only actually. And you have some motorized stuff too. One of the things you wanna do at the start is probably just start building light tanks, since they can destroy China. Or even motorized. Motorized can actually fuck the shit out of China easily. I actually recommend building that. The Pan-Asian Doctrine makes you stronger early game, like a lot stronger than you would be usually. But late game you sort of fall off a bit, you start getting weaker, and yeah, to be honest, you're not gonna be a massive superpower if you at least don't take China out. It is hard to become the sole superpower as Japan because of that fact. Because you have buffs on light tanks, and you don't have buffs on stronger tanks like mediums and heavy tanks. Now that's a problem because later on people build medium and heavy tanks, right? Heavier armor, and they're just gonna destroy your light tanks. So you're gonna have to move on as well. Now that wouldn't be a problem if you didn't have your buffs on light tanks and armored cars, because you don't have buffs on heavy tanks and medium tanks. You actually have a debuff, meaning you can get better levels later, like a day or two later. Not a big deal, but still something that affects you a little bit. And the thing is, other countries have buffs on heavy tanks and medium tanks, like the USSR has buffs on heavy tanks and Germany on medium tanks. Considering this, they're probably gonna have stronger tanks, even if you build heavy tanks against the USSR. The USSR's heavy tanks are gonna fuck your ass, to be honest. Your heavies are not gonna stand a chance against Soviet ones. And it's not only tanks, it's other things as well. You get nukes later as well, and all kinds of things like that. If you want to know more about that, you can check out the doctrine video I made. I explained all the doctrines there. But other than that, Japan is a very strong power, and if you want to, you can actually become very strong. I think it's actually possible for you to attack the US and win against them in the Pacific because, well, you can easily take the Philippines, they're close to you, and you can just outproduce them navally, right? If you want to. You definitely can, because the US has what? Three coastal cities on the west coast, and if they want to bring more from the east, it's gonna take a very long time. However, they do have like Honolulu, Sand Island, and Wake Island, so there's a few, but you have more coastal cities in general, and they have better access to the Pacific. You can easily take Wake Island, Sand Island, and Hawaii as well. If you take those as well as the Philippines, the US won't really stand a chance in naval combat, which means you can probably just invade the west coast or just secure your holdings in Asia. However, the US does start with a pretty big navy in the Pacific, so you gotta watch out for that. Still, you have a chance against them, a pretty good one. If I count, you start. This is without mentioning you can get a lot of more coastal cities. You can get two just from Hong Kong and Macau. You can also get a few from Indochina and a ton from Indonesia and the British colonies here. So yeah, but without them, you have 12 coastal cities, if not more. Right, I'm gonna say 12, yeah. So that's quite a lot. And you have like 7 ones that are core. So that's some pretty solid shit right there. You can also get Macau, Hong Kong, that's another 2. You can get 2 from Indochina. And Indochina is really easy to get, so are the other colonies. You have a really good chance as Japan. Your economy is decent, you make 3,000 money per hour, which is actually really good. And that's with 4,000 money a day being spent on your units. Now, that is a lot. I don't know if you guys know, but that is a lot. I think Germany has a bit more, but that's basically 4,000. I know the USSR has like 2,500 at the start, maybe 2,600. Although you gotta count their doctrine mix, it costs less to upkeep their army. But still, this is a big army right here. You make this amount of resources in general. Not that many, I recommend building up economy. If you build up a mainland economy, up to level 5 on each city, you're gonna have a pretty fucking good economy. You're gonna be rolling through Asia easily. Now, expansion options. You can go into Southeast Asia, that's a pretty smart move, you can get it easily. Although you're gonna be at war with most of Europe, or a lot of Europe at least. French Indochina is easy to get, so is Burma, pretty easy. I don't recommend going after India unless you secure China and stuff. And these colonies over here can take Siam pretty easily. British Malaya as well. Indonesia is pretty easy to get. I don't really, well, you could go after Australia and win pretty easily there as well. They started with a small army, so you can definitely do that. You can also take out Manchukuo. I actually recommend it. But first you should go after China, since Manchukuo is probably gonna go inactive. And yeah, but you could go after Manchukuo as well. Wouldn't be a bad choice to do day 2, but usually you should go day 2 after China. You could go after the USSR, but I wouldn't recommend it. You have a chance, right? You have a good chance. You can take their most important production of metal, Vladivostok, but still it's gonna take a long time. There's not many cities here. Until you get to the west, it's gonna be just a lot of time. You're gonna need at least China for that. I don't recommend doing it before, and when Soviet reinforcements arrive, you're gonna have a tough time, that's for sure. So I recommend securing China first, in most circumstances. Then you can go after European colonies, maybe even after the USSR later. So there we go, I think that's gonna be it for this video actually. That should explain a lot of the situation here. Your navy is strong enough to take out the British Navy, the Dutch Navy, and the French Navy here in the Southeast Asia and Asia as a whole pretty easily. The US is the only potential problem, but if you take in these colonies, you can just outproduce them navally very easily, and then just secure the Pacific as well easily. It's not that hard to play them, to be honest. If you play it right, you can be an insanely strong power, no question about that. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, hopefully you guys learned something, and yeah, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. So, I'll see you guys then, and yeah, goodbye!